Start the video.
What it do? What it do? What it do? It's your boy Don Jaye back again with Red Pill Overdose, another episode. This one is gonna be spicy, so get your meat ready. All right. What's your name, age, and then what do you do?
Ace, I'm 21 and I do a lot of things.
Oh my god.
My name is Ash. I'm almost 20, and I do a lot too.
All right, carrying on.
As being a feminist today is you must just want to get laid. There's no reason to
what?
believe in all of these crazy things that seek to strip you of your masculinity, perpetuate these terrible ideas that men are evil and all of these things. That has to be the reason.
Step forward if you agree with the prompt. Women have it easier than they think they do.
Ooh. All right, before they even talk, I do want to get y'all perspective. Do y'all think women, because I don't want them to sway y'all opinions, do y'all think women have it easier than what y'all think y'all do?
Yep.
Ooh,
Yep.
damn. They're keeping it honest for once. All right, let's continue on.
We're already starting with the bullshit.
With feminism, it's kind of brainwashed women to think that they are victims in 99% of cases, and all the disenfranchisement that they would claim in like colleges and careers. A lot of these careers are way easier to get into for women than they are for men because they're looking to hire women because of feminism.
Yeah, like in divorce and stuff, they get more property, the kids' rights, all that.
Yeah.
But more so, I think that from the jump actually have it easier. Like men need to be a provider. They're taught to be tough. Oh, why are you crying? Don't be a girl. But when a girl is crying or a girl is upset or anything that happens, usually they're a princess and they're given the world.
Well, yeah, because with women, they're born with their value. They innately have value. They can create life and they're extremely valuable from birth. For men, it's not really the same way. You have to make something of yourself to be respected.
Exactly. Like a pretty woman can go far just using her face. A man can't do that. A man can't go to a rich businessman or like a businesswoman and be like, I'm good looking, let me come to your yacht.
Right.
A woman can.
Right.
What are y'all thoughts on that real quick?
I agree.
You agree?
There are, like you said, we do get to choose who we let fuck or not.
Yeah, okay, so you agree with that. Okay, what about you?
I agree on what she's saying, honestly.
Okay, yeah, 100%. Men definitely have it. You, as a man, you have to perform. There's no way around that. As a woman,
honestly, like even I don't know if y'all watched like Animal Kingdom, but when I was younger, I used to. And it was like it's always the male species trying to do something for the female, for her to even get his attention.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you always have to perform as a man versus a woman. Not necessarily. It's not necessary, especially when it comes to dating.
Not necessarily, but
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's bring the disagreeers forward.
I have a quick question. Just a second ago, you were saying that a pretty woman could go on to a rich man's yacht and that would be kind of her ticket on, right? Okay, so did that help women vote at all, being pretty?
You changing the goalpost, my boy. Like, what? You changing the goalpost. What the fuck is you talking about?
But what does that have to do with the...
I'm just asking, because, I mean, when we're talking about women's lives being better than they think they are, would you rather be pretty and be able to get on a yacht or have your liberties?
What are we living in, like 1950s or 2022?
Women
They already have the right to vote.
for a long time.
I think something you specifically said shows to me why women don't have it easier. I think it was you who said, women already have their value. Their value is already obvious because they can have children. I don't want to put you into a box, but there are large amounts of men. Women are people that have children and then they raise the child and they be quiet.
And I think
that is a problem.
I think what was really evident to me when both of y'all came up and talked was how indoctrinated into the patriarchy you are, right? You both come up and say, as men, we have to prove something. And those expectations that you put on yourself is a direct result of patriarchy and the systems that feminism is trying to dismantle.
As are the values that women have that when they were born that you're talking about. Women did not create those.
Right.
Those are God ordained. Men and women are both equal under God and in value as human beings. In Genesis, you have a creation of both men and women that are made in God's
We're
image.
not about
we
to
are
quote
both
the Bible on like some feminist
Hold on,
topic.
but so...
I mean, we can.
We're operating in a country where there's a separation of church and state. You cannot use religion as a motivation to make legislation. If I hear...
Bro, oh my God. I can't, these are actual men walking around disagreeing with the fact that men have to perform to create value and women don't necessarily have to.
Okay, but like if you want to
This
talk
crazy.
about the real feminist, the word feminist comes from men that are angry that women have a right now.
Wait, what? No, the word feminist comes from women that want equal rights. That's what it came from a long time
Okay,
ago.
so what the fuck did I just say?
Hold on, first
Okay.
of all, watch, calm down.
My bad. But what did I just say? Men are aggravated that women have the same right. That's what you just said. That
No.
men. Okay, hold on. Feminist comes from women that thinking we have equal rights, but men get upset because we think we have equal rights, which we do. In this day and age, we do have equal rights.
I'm not arguing that. What are you talking about? I'm confused.
So what does the word feminist mean to you?
The word feminist meaning is what it came from a long time ago of other women and some men that want women to have equal rights that men have. But y'all, in 2023, y'all have every single right that a man has. There's not one right or law that a man has that a woman does not have. I would
What's the
actually,
problem
hold
with
on.
that?
I would actually argue there is some rights and laws that's in your favor versus men. There's not one that is for men.
I'm listening. Go ahead. Be specific with the laws.
Voting,
What's wrong with that?
working.
What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying nothing wrong with it. What I'm saying is before y'all couldn't vote, before y'all couldn't work, before y'all couldn't do a lot of things, and now y'all can.
And when we were like that, we were the traditional women when men wanted us to be. And
Yeah.
now
When we
that we're
couldn't work
giving
and do none of
these
that.
rights, and we're able to work as much as men, and we're able
Okay.
to do for ourselves as much as men are, it's
Yeah.
a problem.
I don't think it's necessarily a
No,
problem.
it is a problem because y'all are upset that we want to act like y'all because we're giving the same rights as y'all.
Okay, but there's you confusing two things, right? Number one, we are not getting upset because you want to act like us in the form of working. It's more so in the form of you being masculine in the relationship.
If
Those
we're
are two
being
different
masculine,
things.
though, it's for a reason.
You keep changing the goalposts. When it comes to that relationships, right? We don't want a masculine woman. We want a feminine woman. So you going to work is going to make you masculine. Any experiences that a woman has, or a human, let's just take it away from women. Any experiences that a human have, you will get more masculine. The more places you go, the more people you meet, the more trauma you have, you will develop masculine tendencies. That's just how life works.
Okay, then why is it a problem?
Can I ask you a question?
Because we don't want masculine women.
Can I ask
get
you a
that,
question?
but we're made this way because of, like you said, the traumas we've been through, the situations we've been through.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Can
think
I-
men are changed through their traumas and the situations they've been
Okay,
through?
yeah, let me
Hold on, let me answer first, then you go. I think men become better men by doing that, and women become worse women when it comes to dating. Now, I'm not talking about humans. I'm talking about when it comes to dating.
Maybe.
No, it's not a maybe. When you are as a woman and go through trauma and different experiences, you become more masculine. You lose your innocence. We want a woman that's innocent. We want to be able to show you your first time at this restaurant, your first time here, your first time in this car, etc. We can't have that level of femininity if you've been through so much shit.
Okay, pause, because now I got some shit to say and I
What
don't
up?
care. So, y'all, y'all want women that don't go through as much trauma as other women, right?
Of course.
Why the fuck do we go through trauma? And I'm gonna be real, man. I'm not gonna put it all on men because I have mom issues, dad issues. I got a lot of issues in terms of just family wise. But majority of it comes from men. So why is it at the age of 6, I got a bad outlook on y'all and I shouldn't even know what the fuck is up with men at the age of 6, but because of what I've been through trauma-wise, that I didn't force myself to go through. I was put through. Because of why?
An evil
Men.
person.
Men.
Well, an evil man, if you
evil
want to be
man.
specific, but
Men.
it's still an evil
It's
person.
not, and I wouldn't even say equal. Just a man.
I say evil.
Oh, evil in general. How do you know in terms of specific wise in my situation, how would you know that person's evil if they're around the same age as you and they don't know no better, but because of what they went through, they turn on you? And in terms of just sexual assault, let me just get real deep into it. In terms of sexual assault, any man or woman at a young age is going to take that and go with it. You feel me? If you're sexually assaulted at a young age, that's what you know, that's what you learn. You don't know right from wrong. So you're going to go for that, okay? Mm-hmm. So in terms of a man or woman at a young age doing the same thing that they learned from at a young age to another person at a young age, it's like family trauma, what do you even call it? Genes.
Just family.
It's in the genes, you feel me?
Yeah.
You gotta break the curse, whatever you want to talk about it. But as a woman in this generation, in terms of even from 5 to 10 years ago in this generation, men are very aggressive. They don't like the word no. They don't like, nah, I'm good. None of that shit. So they're going to take what they want, which causes women to be traumatized. And I'm going to be real. If you want to get real, men in this generation do not like the word no. So when a grown-ass woman says no, or even a young woman says no, men do not like that word no. So they take it upon themselves to get that yes from them. And I'm going to be real. Yeah. It might not be sexual assault to y'all in terms of a woman saying no, but the minute a woman says no is no.
I got you.
You can continue
hold
that.
on, but we getting a little bit off topic.
No, but I want to get deep real quick.
No, hold on, but because I do want to touch on that really quickly, but we have to stay on this video.
Of course.
Okay, so I 100% agree with you. If a woman is saying no, then no means no. But at the same exact time, right? I disagree with the premise that it's just men that's causing these problems to happen in your life and when it comes to you when you grow up, etc. I think it's just evil people in general. Men, and you said something else about men don't respect no. I think that's actually false. I think more so than any time in history, men respect no because there's consequences to not respecting no. Matter of fact, I would go to even further and say men respect even a maybe, which is a girl that's maybe too drunk. Some men are like, hell no, she's too drunk, even though she might be on me. Nah, you too drunk, boo boo, I can't do it. Men are the most respectful they ever been throughout history. Now, can they be better? Yes, 100%. But I disagree with you when you said that they they don't respect no's.
No, they don't. And just in this generation, in terms of like, if you actually pay attention to a lot of the shit that's going on, it's like a lot of men this generation are really hurting females physically, killing, beating, everything on a no. And if you really take like a step back and put yourself in our shoes, instead of continuously having this mindset of men are superior, how about you take a step back and put yourself in our shoes and see what we go through in terms of just saying no. On just saying no, it's really
men was superior. I want to be that.
Okay,
clear.
but I'm just giving you that outlook on terms of our videos we've talked about is more men are superior. But if you
pause. Because you can't say shit like that and then not back it up. I say that in the context of a relationship.
Okay.
Because that's very specific, which is you are picking a man, and most women pick men who are superior. I'm not saying men are superior than women, meaning all men are superior than all women. I'm saying in a relationship dynamic, generally speaking, a man is going to be typically more superior because a woman is going to choose a superior human.
Okay. So when we choose that superior man that doesn't like the word no, even in a relationship, I've had multiple people in a relationship tell the man that they are with no, and regardless if you're in a relationship or you're married.
To the curve though, but go ahead.
No, we're gonna push all the way deep shit.
No, I'm
in terms of any type of situation, if a girl says no means no, and what I'm trying to get out without any interruptions is y'all don't like the word no.
Okay,
and that's no, we reject you. Men do not take rejection as...
In the name of Jesus.
Men do not take rejection as well as females. I'm not saying we take rejection. Everybody takes rejection pretty bad. Mm-hmm. But in terms of rejection is not taken as well as men in terms of female, because y'all really have to grow that, don't shake your head.
No, because we gotta
put that sassy shit on. But in terms of continuing on... y'all don't take. Yeah, I like that. In terms of y'all not taking rejection well, is we go to the bar. But I've been to a bar where men have tried to talk to me and I've said no straight up. On some like, no, I'm good. No, I'm straight. Oh, you don't know what you're missing, or you don't know what I'm on, or you don't know what I'm really about. It's the rejection part. So when a woman says no, y'all men take it more serious than a man telling us no.
Okay.
Because if you tell us no, yes, it's gonna break our pride. Because we that bitch. We think we can get any nigga we want. But in terms of reality, is men take it in terms of a mental no than us taking it as a physical no. Y'all think it's a mental no, and we take it as like, damn, we're not good enough physically as a no. You feel what I'm saying?
No, I get what you're saying, but we got to get back to the actual video. But to put a button on this, I wholeheartedly disagree with you. I think you were talking about the minority of dudes, not the majority of dudes. The majority of dudes are not taking no and then just be like, I'm still gonna go. What? No. Now they may push forward because a lot of times women have a wall, and then when you say no, you might push forward and see that you can actually get it turned that to a yes, and they may push forward. But majority of men are not passing that line because guess what? You can get fucking thrown in jail for that. But did you have something to say? Because I didn't want to.
I just want to say that I do agree with how the fact that women and men take rejection. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. All right, carrying on.
Or one more person use religion as a reason to not give rights to people, probably gonna fucking explode. People using their own personal ideologies as an excuse to implement legislation over other people's lives are simply just not okay with the fact that they can't control everything around them.
Back to the prompt, I mean, I don't think that women have it easier than they think they do. And I think to just make blanket statements like women in society think they have it easy or men in society have it harder or whatever you want to say, I just think it's kind of naive. Sure, maybe some women think they have it easier, but that might not be because they're a woman. It might just be because of their own set of life challenges and vice versa.
Yeah, and I agree.
Okay, let's say something on that and then continue on. This dude don't know what the fuck he's talking about. If you talking about dating, the men come to the women. So obviously dating and relationships, that's dead out the water. When it comes to health, it's literally the same thing. Yes, you have more complications when it comes to pregnancy and what do you call it shit? Fucking periods, etc. and things of that nature. I understand that. And then when it comes to wealth,
being a woman?
Huh?
Being a woman?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying when it comes to health, y'all probably have a little bit of issues.
No, so being a woman.
Yes.
Okay.
But I'm saying
so
it's mostly. I'm saying it's mostly
it's
equal.
Being a woman.
Huh?
I said stop saying it's health because part of that is being a woman.
Yeah, but I was being specific. No. I was being very specific with my words. Meaning that when it comes to people and humans in, let's say, the workforce, right? You get insurance, I get insurance. Maybe they don't cover your menstrual cycle or etc. They still cover when you have a pregnancy or when you have a kid.
Okay, but we literally have to pay more stuff just to be women.
But that's not the argument.
That's not the argument. It's just the fact that you're arguing about men this and men that when we do have to go through
way more just being a woman.
What just being women? We have
money
to go
wise. It's not even.
That's what, hold on, but that's why I was breaking down each different one.
Just not money wise, just not being money wise, like just in terms of being men, like biologically being men and women is different. And I get y'all saying men is different biologically is y'all being like, we think different, we want to have variety, we want to have this and that. For women, it's like, we have to go through certain shit that y'all don't even know what the fuck it is.
Hold on, pause.
It's not the same
thing. No. Okay, we're going to go and we're going to jump 3 videos fucking back right now. When you were talking about how women, variety-wise, in terms of, how do you say this? Because I want to jump back these 3 videos.
Variety pussy?
Yeah, like you guys, it's not even that. It's just in terms of coming after feminism and shit like that. I'm not going to say I'm a full-blown feminist, but in terms of the way girls think nowadays, I agree with. Because, bro, y'all fold. And it's not even that. It's like, it's the way you think. It's like you said, the way men think compared to the way girls think. Y'all's is more of a lust situation, and ours is more of a mental situation. Y'all will fold above anything over lust.
Got you. But hold on. We got to stay on topic. So when, again, the way I broke it down is different aspects of people's lives, which is health, wealth, relationships, right? When it comes to relationships, you win all day long because you choose the people that come to your life. You're like, oh, not him. He's too short. Oh, not him because he got his nails this way. You choose that. 100% is way easier for you guys when it comes to that, or choosing at least. When it comes to health, that might be a little differences because obviously the healthcare system, etc. And also when it comes to wealth, y'all are equal, if not better, because the jobs like STEM, science, technology, engineering, math, they want to hire you because women are not in those fields. So you have it easier in the workforce, right? Maybe not in the specific workforces of being around men and maybe get prone to some sexual assault or sexual harassment, whatever the case may be. But in general, of at least getting the job, it's equal, if not better, for women. So in most capacities, women have it easier. So I don't even understand this argument, to be quite honest with you.
No, I am understanding this argument because you're saying men and women are equal in some point, but in others they're not.
Yes.
In the workforce,
I think we're equal all the way around.
If we're equal in the workforce, and you're saying that in the workforce, well, actually, not even you. I'm talking to the men in the comments. They're saying the world wouldn't revolve if men weren't in the workforce and men weren't doing this.
No, that's facts.
Okay, but how are you arguing that we're the same in the workforce and we can get even better?
No, my argument, I want you to really listen to me then.
I'm listening.
Right. If we both went for a job at McDonald's and we both did the exact same thing.
Why McDonald's?
I'm just picking anything.
Bro, just listen.
Yeah, I'm just picking anything. McDonald's. We equal in every capacity, then we're equal in every capacity. Whoever the hiring manager is, they probably just going to be like, oh, I like this resume better, or whatever the case may be. They're not going to be, oh, she's a woman because of this. It's not going to be like that. And even more so in STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, they have an agenda to get more women in there because there's so few women in there. So you have a leg up. If we have the same equal references, guess what? You're going to get hired over me because they want more women. So in any capacity of the workforce, you guys are equal, if not better. I don't even understand this argument when it comes to society.
So how does that support your argument to where, not yours, but them, when they're saying when it comes to, jobs in general, men are the ones keeping it going in a circle?
Because you are not in STEM.
Women can be, if not smarter, just as smart as
That's
men.
not my argument. My argument is whether you are capable of doing it or not, you are not doing it. There's more women in college than there are men in college. So why is there no more women in STEM than there are men in STEM? It means, hold on, this is what it means. It means you are choosing the specific jobs that you want, which is nursing, which is fucking psychology or communications or different jobs like that. You are not choosing science, technology, engineering, and math. And then to put a final button on the situation that you talked about earlier, if men were to disappear, the world would collapse because we run that in forms of infrastructure. You guys don't.
Okay, I gotta put a 2 cents in.
Go ahead, and then we can carry on.
Yeah,
For
carry
real,
on. Okay, listen. If I'm at home and I'm living with a nigga and I'm picking up a 50-pound box, I can't pick that shit up in front of y'all.
Okay.
It made me look masculine. But best believe, when y'all gone and I need some shit done, I'm going to get that shit done. I'm going to tell you, you can watch multiple videos on this. It's just like opening up a jar of jam. Regardless of what jam it is, if I need you to open it, a jar of pickles, whatever, because, girls like pickles, you feel me?
Girls like
Someone
pickles.
called you Andrew Tate.
Anyways, it's like this. I can't open this because of my nails. I need you to open this shit.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
When you're not around, I bet you I can get that shit open.
Okay.
When you are not around, I bet you I can pick up this box. When you're not around, I bet you I can pick up this whole bed. And when you're not around, I bet you I can take this TV off the motherfucking wall and move it and screw that shit onto the next wall. I'm going to tell you right now, your thought process of men and we can't live without y'all I bet you if y'all weren't a fucking around, we can do this shit 100% better than y'all will ever do it.
No, men 100%.
And that's how I believe.
No, men, or your belief is false. Men 100% can manipulate the world easier than women. It's because of physical strength. It takes physical stuff to do things. For example, you said they can open a jar. I get that. You can probably open a jar too by doing some techniques or by even being a woman that may be strong. But you wouldn't be as efficient at it as a man would be. My argument is very simple. It's very simple. Women are not in the fields of the things that make society function as society. You're not in the sewers. You're not doing the power lines. You're not doing these things that make society a society. So if men were to disappear, society would crumble.
I feel like if men were to disappear, we'd have no reason
No. Exactly. Can I say one thing?
We'd have no reason to step up. It's because these men are doing these jobs, we feel like we don't have to.
Okay, and I agree with that. Let me put it on one point. Just kind of how you didn't understand the can opening, the jar opening. We only do that because we're trying to be feminine around y'all. We can really handle shit on our own. But in terms of a man being around, we want y'all to have that that closure, that just the superiority that you're the man. But in terms of we can do everything that y'all can do, in terms of the back then,
that little privilege to be able to say that y'all can do stuff,
that y'all can do shit. Hold on, the manly, the masculine part of a man, we can do that. We can pick up boxes, we can build houses, we can do all types of shit y'all can do. In the real world, if you do, statistically speaking, men do more of the masculine shit because y'all are here. If y'all weren't here, we can still do the same shit, if not even better.
And y'all are doing all that because
stop the cap.
Because y'all want that respect from females, and y'all want to be able to be like, look, I can do this and this and this for you. Okay. So I want you to be able to do this and this.
Okay,
and
we're
this.
okay.
We gotta get back to the video.
Hold on, I gotta answer hers, and then you can answer your question. Then we gotta get back to the video. I'm not arguing that you can't do what men can do. That's not my argument. My argument is men do it much better at a much more higher efficiency rate than you can.
Why?
What do you mean why? Because we're physically stronger than you are. In most capacities, our reaction time is better than you guys. We can manipulate physical world better than you guys can. That's just the bottom line.
Can I get down into it?
I think physically, men might be, obviously most men.
But mentally,
half a bed. But mentally,
no.
Y'all
honestly,
are weaker than us.
Honestly,
I'm not gonna even argue that.
I think it's a weakness thing. So if us females know that we can do the shit that y'all can do, I feel like it wouldn't be a problem. But in terms,
us even knowing that we can do shit better than y'all just makes y'all a little more like, y'all egos is like
that and
that's what turns y'all a little off, and y'all are like, oh, she's not as feminine just because we think the way we do.
Would you get with a girl that can do the same shit as you? Okay, I want you to think of this. You're a construction worker, right? You work fucking 12 hours a day doing construction in the sun, in the cold, in the heat, in the fucking winter.
Talk to me.
Everything you do it because that's the masculine side of you, right? Construction, think about it. You think of men, right? Am I wrong or am I right?
Well, I think of men because men dominate that field.
Okay.
I think of men.
Can I finish this real quick?
You asked the question.
I'm not done. I'm trying to get my point across. So when you think of construction, and that's just a general, think of construction, think of men. If y'all weren't there, you think we're just not gonna let shit?
No, I think you're going to try, but you're not going to be able to do the things that's effective enough to get the job done. It's just that simple.
I don't agree.
It's just we wouldn't know until it happens.
I think in terms of just anything, we would put more emotion into it. I feel like women growing up in general, not even the traditional ways, in general, women are more emotional. And so anything we do in terms of if we go into a restaurant, our food is going to be cooked with love. Y'all food is cooked with, what do you want to call it? Efficiency. Y'all food is cooked with efficiency. Our food is cooked with love.
All right. Well, hold on. Let's carry on. We got to carry on. We got to get the
I don't 100% agree with that, but
I do. Ours is
one of the reasons that I am
so passionately anti-feminist is because I believe that feminism pits men against women. Men and women may be equal today, but they are not the same. But also, too, women are under a pressing assault today in this country. They're losing their ability to compete in sports, beauty pageants, also just basic things like that to people that identify as women. And no one is talking about it. Feminists aren't talking about it. So now you have conservatives having to fight for women's equality in
You're making
these
some
spaces.
pretty blanket statements saying feminists don't care about it. And you say, you think that all women just are against men.
To answer your question, yeah. You're talking about women. Women are not all feminists. Yeah. There are plenty of feminists who are very anti-woman. You know, you saw it during in the political era where you have people who will attack Kayleigh McEnany and Kellyanne Conway because they aren't pro-women. They're not for the girls.
So you...
Actually, we have like just a little bit left. I haven't heard Kevin yet.
Yeah, when you talked about the pressures of being a man and having to provide and having to prove your value as a man, I think those are real challenges that men face. That's why, like, women have it harder too, because they are also being impacted by how aggressive men feel like they need to be able to secure the role that they have to play in society. But the reality of today is that because of the systems that we're in, the patriarchy is negatively impacting not only women, but also men.
There's no wrong reason to get an abortion.
There's no wrong reason to get an abortion. I do gotta ask, what does it have to do with feminism? But all right, continue on.
Okay, so honestly, with the feminine and abortion, honestly, I am pro-choice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me. I feel like, yeah, I guess we open up our legs in terms of irresponsibility, but y'all do too. So at the end of the day, we have a choice to keep this child or not, regardless of what anybody says. I don't know.
This topic in and of itself is proof that women have it easier than men, because in this topic, a woman 100% can decide yes or no if a child is born in the United States. In other places, maybe different. But in the United States, 100%. A man can't decide, hey, I want to financially abort this baby. No, guess what, nigga? You getting hit with a child support. That's number one. Number two, I actually would agree with you with the pro-choice thing, but I just think that it needs to be more scientific. Meaning, when can a baby live outside of the stomach, and subtract 3 weeks from that, and that's when the cutoff time should be. That's just me personally.
But do you agree with, so in the terms of like, y'all be like, close your legs, you know what I'm saying, that whole shit. But in terms of just us opening up our legs, even if we waited months on end and you decided to do the irresponsible thing, and as a woman, we don't have a choice. If I tell you,
you don't have a choice?
In terms of, be for real, y'all, and that goes back to the point of men don't like the word no. I'm gonna be real, if you're feeling a girl and you're like, I'm not wearing no protection, I'm not doing shit, and a girl says, don't nut hit me, whatever, y'all still have the opportunity and that choice to say, I'm gonna do that shit. And so when y'all make that consecutive decision in your mind,
I think that's actually a crime, but okay.
In your mind, it is. But in your mind, you make that consecutive decision. I'm going to do what the fuck I want to do. This shit feels good in terms of lust. You feel me? Going all the way back. Y'all make a decision based off how y'all feeling in that moment. We make a decision based off the feeling that how we're going to feel.
No, I get that, and I agree with that. But I'm just saying that even in this scenario that they just gave, it counteracts their first question, which is abortion. Women 100% decides who lives and who dies in America. Man has no say-so. We cannot tell you, oh, keep the baby, and you have to keep the baby. We can't even tell you to abort the baby, and you have to get rid of it. No, it don't work like that. So this is funny that they even brought up this question.
So I'll just center the conversation around the very fact that, we're a group of 8 men, the optics of 8 men in a room talking about when women do and don't deserve to get an abortion it's a bad look. So for me, from a personal standpoint, I have a girlfriend. There might be some reasons on a personal level where her and I having that conversation together, I might say, oh, I think we should do this, I think we should do that. On a legislative level, I don't feel confident enough to legislate when someone is and isn't allowed to get health care. Because that's what abortion is, it's health care.
One of the paramount...
Oh my God, my boy, I'm literally losing hope for some dudes in America because that's not necessarily healthcare. That's literally a potential life that you're talking about.
I'm trying to tell you that a lot of men this generation don't think as men as the old generation. It's just the fact that on your channel, a lot of the men that think the way old men think are the ones that decide to express their feelings because...
It's not old men, but I'm gonna let you
not
continue.
old men, but the men that think the way traditional men think are the ones commenting on here saying, no, well, this and that, and she's a hoe just because she thinks this way and this and that. It's like, that's the way you think. And sorry, but not sorry, that's getting old.
Okay.
Honestly,
no, hold on, wait. I want her to stay right there. So I love what you just said just now, but I have to push back wholeheartedly because the way that we think, and I wouldn't call it old, I would call it logical or proven. I would call it proven. What that is we have seen a society function and thrive through that nuclear family of a woman being traditional.
Really
Hold on,
let me
finish. A woman staying at home, a man going to work, having a couple of kids, etc. That nuclear family has built a society that is functioning today. We don't know the way that the world is right now. We don't know how this is going to turn out. We don't know how relationships going to be, how society going to be, of anything of that nature.
But did that really strive if we're to a point where women had to choose that we wanted our rights and we had to do what we had to do if that was striving?
Yeah, honestly, where do
you know a lot of women was against that?
Exactly.
Nah, but I'm gonna be real.
Why would we be against that if it was working?
No, I'm saying a lot of women was against that. But go ahead.
We're gonna counteract this whole both of y'all situation. Why would the majority of women agree with us? Because if the majority of women and some men agree with us, the vote wouldn't have became a positive impact on women's lives. So obviously the vote came into terms of, yeah, women deserve rights. So if women didn't deserve rights or anything that we have right now that we take advantage of that y'all men do not like, why is it...
Like what right? Give me one.
We got rights to vote. We got rights to work. Because back then, women weren't allowed to vote. Women weren't allowed to work. Women were allowed to do shit. Okay. We got to listen to the men. But we're in a point in life where it's all changed. Women have the right to vote. Women have the right to make choices. Women have the right to work. Women have the right to do a lot of things nowadays. But that also stemmed off men voting on us. So if majority of men don't agree with us, right? And you said some women don't agree with. Why is it that women look more towards the way we think than women look towards the way y'all think? Because it's the way we get treated. It all turns out to the way we get treated. I'm going to be real. If I'm more successful, if I'm more successful looking after myself and doing what I think is right in terms of a woman aspect, getting my own money, doing what I gotta do, going out, working, fucking not doing as many housewife shit as I normally do. That's what I think. But y'all men agree with some of that, because if it wasn't, then we wouldn't have win that vote that we asked for.
No, I get that.
In terms of
I'm not even arguing that. That's not my argument, because I don't even know the statistics of how many women voted versus how many women didn't vote.
Well, obviously enough.
Enough in terms of men and women.
Yeah,
I get that. So I'm not talking
if
about
we started getting the rights that us women thought we deserved. Because just because we're born a woman means that we deserve less and we're supposed to be less.
That's what you're saying.
But but who says that?
No,
who says what decides what's less and what's more? That's number one. Number two, who decides what's negative versus positive?
Why should a man get to decide that women have, just because we're born women, we have to decide that we're going to be a stay-at-home wives and we're going to do all this for men and we're going to dedicate ourselves to men?
It's
Why?
just...
Okay, hold on. One at a time. One at a time. So your argument or your statement is basically what? Sum it up for me again. Is saying that men are literally saying, I want you to be this traditional way?
No, just why is it that we're born into the way that we are born into? We have to think in terms of majority of the men thinking that we have to be traditional. Why are we born into that? Why can't we be born into something else? Am I right?
That we choose to be, like,
we
something
don't choose.
that we don't choose to be born. Like I said, we don't choose to be born women. Y'all don't choose to be born men. Why?
I'm going to get in deeper
once we're born, why do we have to go into separate categories as we're born? why do we have to be born into a world and we're born women
Because
and we
that's-
have to act a certain role?
Okay, all right. Now let me say this, and then we gotta
ahead.
continue on with the video because that's how the world works.
That's not how
No.
the world
Listen, I want you to listen to me
works.
very
No,
carefully.
that's how we made it work.
No. You need to listen very carefully, and I mean very carefully. When people are born, right? No matter who you are, no matter even what animal you are going to be good at certain things and bad at certain things. So good things that women are, y'all are much more superior than us when it comes to being social. Y'all are much more in tune. Y'all are much more spiritual. Y'all are much more social, etc., nurturing, etc. So y'all thrive in that environment. That's typically child raising. That's typically feeding the child, nurturing child, etc. Men are bigger and stronger than you are on average. So guess what? It's our job for the safety and security. If those roles start to get mixed up like they are nowadays, where men start to do women shit and women start to do men shit, people and society and relationships will get confusing and it will not work. And more importantly, it will not be effective.
Well, why would it have got to this point if it was working out at some point?
Because people want rights. Because people want choices.
And
okay,
shouldn't we
so
be
that
born
means
with-
it doesn't. So what's going on traditionally isn't working, and that's what we're trying to
That's
get
not
at.
okay.
It
So
is.
y'all saying
It
traditionally it doesn't work.
It's not that it doesn't work. It just doesn't work for everybody. And
Honestly,
that's why the newer generations are changing shit, because that norm that y'all has set standards for, where we're supposed to be a certain thing for men, isn't working out. And we had to work to change that.
Yeah.
Because we were born to a society where women are supposed to be lower than men. And now that we're working to change that, it's a problem because y'all are thinking we're getting modernized. That we're thinking certain different ways just because the norms are changing.
And I agree with that 100%.
So all I'm saying is my argument is I don't know. So So again, I want to be very clear, but we got to get back to the video.
Okay.
My argument is very clear.
Okay.
We understand how tradition works because we see the society that we live in now.
Right.
We don't know how this new thing is going to be because we don't know how it's going to be in 20, 30, 40, 50 years. That's the only thing that I got to say about that, and we got to get back to the video.
Okay, let's go.
Ideologies of, I guess, being a quote-unquote male feminist is just the ability to mind your own business. Right. Just to be able to say that this is the wrong reason to have an abortion, you're already headed down the wrong path.
Yeah. So being an anti-feminist, I look at this and I say, well, I am more religious as well.
As am I.
So I want to say I'm more pro-life, right? But if a woman decides that they want to not give birth, it doesn't matter the reason. Maybe she's not wealthy enough. Maybe the father left her. There's so many reasons. And then I also look at just gun violence and how we're birthing kids and we raise them and send it to school knowing that it can get killed. I don't know. I would feel like
it's not it's not the best world to be raising a child in.
Exactly.
I think a patriarchal element, even in your answer, not to combat or what have you, the idea of trying to cycle through the reasons why and going, yeah, I guess those make sense, is still, in my opinion, patriarchal.
Even though I was on the feminist side on that topic, it feels like I was put in a position where I was framed as wrong. It felt like you aren't allowed to have this opinion on this topic because you're not a woman. And I think that's kind of bullshit, to be honest.
It is.
Off the top of my head, I know that it was mentioned earlier that abortion is healthcare, and I first want to push back on that. Yeah. Abortion is not healthcare. Healthcare preserves life, it protects it. It doesn't take it away, it doesn't eliminate it.
What about the woman's life?
But when you exterminate a child, that is doing harm.
Oh, but it's
that
not
is
always a
healthcare.
child, right? So it's a discussion when it becomes a child or not. That's not a gray area. That's not a line.
It is actually scientifically proven. It is a separate strain of DNA at conception. If you ask any doctor...
But if you took that clump of cells out, would it survive?
It's not a clump of cells, that's why you call it a termination. Scientifically, it is a life at birth, and scientifically it is at conception. At conception,
it is a life, but it is not a human.
So look, though, the thing is, when you say it's about protecting life, abortions are protecting lives of thousands of women who maybe are not able to
at
have...
the expense of another life.
But you're already prioritizing that other life over the woman who's carrying that life.
Because of patriarchy, too.
Because of patriarchy.
That's why you're doing it.
Because of patriarchy, you're basically saying that
So what if we're...
Could you get a much. Never mind. I'm gonna just.
These
Aborting a
cells
female
are more
baby.
important than the woman.
I think it's absolutely shameful how flippantly our society has begun to treat the topic of abortion. You are literally exterminating an unborn child.
To
That
protect
is
the
wrong.
life of
That is
another
wrong.
woman.
Then don't have sex without protection.
Really, you don't
and
have
get
sex without
contraception.
protection. How about you don't have sex without
Well, I
protection?
don't have a
Tell 'em what they
baby.
can do.
I don't have a
Right.
baby.
Tell 'em what they can do.
Stop
Yeah.
absolving women and men
Yeah.
of responsibility and treating grown ass people like they are children.
Again, we're not emphasizing any of those things.
I just-
We're going straight to women and making it their problem.
Well, it's a man's problem as well, because if a man gets a woman pregnant, that is his child as well. So one of the things that's really important, what abortion does, is it puts all of reproductive rights in the hands of women when it takes both parties. She cannot have a child without a man. Abortion normalizes women making bad choices. We've kind of given a free pass for people to be a lot more carefree about who they sleep with and not really think twice about the ramifications that may come of it.
But again, we're also,
Murder an
once
innocent
again,
child.
we're zooming in on a high level on the end result. We're not talking about the systemic issues that cause women to have abortions. Hold on. We're not talking about the lack of resources that make people feel like they cannot sustain a pregnancy or sustain a life.
Right.
And those are things that are caused by the way men have set up society. So instead, hold on. So instead of talking about the actual issues from the top down and going the whole way, we go to the most oppressed person involved and make it their fault.
All right, go ahead.
If we're gonna talk about abortion again, I'm pro-choice. It's whoever thinks, because that is your choice.
I
If
don't
you
wanna-
want to
okay,
spread
so
your legs open.
I want to say I am pro-choice. You know, woman's body, she gets to do what she wants with it. But when a woman decides to sleep with a man, they're both risking
Responsible.
it. They're both risking it. They're both putting their part in to this risk of having a child. But when it comes to having the child, who's really having the child? Who's gonna have to deal with that child in their stomach for 9 months? And why shouldn't she get to choose if she wants to do it? And it's not even just if she wants to do it. It's
We're not
really
even gonna get to
complicated.
the
It's
once
complicated as
for the
hell.
9 months. She's talking about the 9 months. Let's talk about the 18 years that we are stuck with the child. And let's talk about how if we abandon a child, we're called dead. I'm talking about bad names. If a woman abandons any child, we are called the worst names compared to a man that's called a deadbeat. Okay, that's all y'all get called. But that's normal. Be for real. In this generation, even fucking 20 years back, if a man abandons a child or does what they do, continues on with their life, who has to raise that child until at least 18?
The woman. But
The
but
woman.
my
So
point
why, hold on. So why wouldn't we have the choice in terms of pro-choice? We don't have the choice to get rid of that child. I'm not going to say, okay, boo the fucking who about fucking child support. Get over it. You shouldn't have opened your legs just as much as us. And I agree with that.
I want to say this.
Go ahead.
So when it comes to this, it's quite simple. Like I said earlier, again, for me, I just look at things as a logical standpoint. We are overpopulated. A lot of people are doing some crazy shit. So yes, pro-choice, but scientifically. If it can't, before it can survive, okay, cool. But after, nah. Secondly, when it comes to child support, if that's the case, then it should be equal with men as well, which is that a man should be able to abort a child financially. Just make it both or make it neither. That's my argument. My argument is either make it both or make it neither. So, yeah, now let's carry on. What, you about to say something? Oh, all right.
Mansplaining is overly criticized.
Oh, my God.
I frequently come across videos online where like a man will respond back to a broad generalization about women, and they'll be like, oh, you're just mansplaining it, as if men aren't allowed to have a voice in the conversation. And I think that the term itself, it's just not really defined.
And mansplaining is just not real.
Yeah.
Like it literally is a man explaining something, and these people get angry about it. Like that's the reality of the times in which we live. And it hurts the ability of men to have conversations with women, because you think, oh wow, if I explain this issue to her, and I'm gonna be accused of mansplaining, or I'm gonna be accused of being sexist because I don't think she understands it. That's toxic, and it hurts women, it hurts men, and it's just not a way for us to have a functioning society.
And at its core, it's completely hypocritical, because the feminist plight is that women need to have a voice and they're being told they can't have a voice. And then they turn around and do the exact same thing and say, you're mansplaining me. You shouldn't have a voice about this topic because you're a man.
And we're targeted because of our identity, and no one cares about it because we're supposedly in positions of power, so we don't get to be victims. We don't get to say, oh, you should feel bad for us, because we're men, so we don't get to have the luxury of having the benefit of the doubt of society or the media or any of those things, and it's a shame. It's a shame.
Right. Yeah.
I'm going to speak about mansplaining from a different perspective, because you guys are talking about controversial topics. I'm going to talk about it from just like a day-to-day perspective. In my relationship with my partner, how I try to be really mindful of mansplaining is when she is sharing her struggle. I think a tendency that can be conditioned in me through just how men dominate and want to have to solve problems and all that is I want to jump in and just solve it and try to explain what's happening here and try to question her experience and be like, hey, like, well, did you think about this? Did you think about that? Well, I see this. That inherently in itself comes off as mansplaining, because what is the counter to mansplaining is actually getting consent from the other person. How do you want to be supported? Do you want me to support you and listen to you, or do you want me to help solve problems?
It's also, mansplaining is...
All right, let me pause this right here, and then I'm speaking to my people right now. Bro, this rhetoric that he's spewing is so detrimental, and here's why. When you start to do things like that, you start to get a different sense of who you are. Let me give you an example. If you are a person who problem solves, and every time someone talks to you, and you have and in your mind you're a problem solver, right? That's what you immediately go to. You can solve problems better, because the more you do things, the better you're at doing them. Now, if you start switching up and saying, oh, are you just venting today? Let me just listen to you vent. And then your mind goes into that. You then start to actually train your mind to just listen to bullshit and not solve the problem. Therefore, you'll get worse at solving that problem. I just don't think this mindset is actually good for men in general. This is why I personally believe girls should have girlfriends to go vent and talk about their problems. If you want your problem solved, that's when you come to me. But let's carry on.
No, and what?
What?
I want to just go based off what you said.
Go ahead.
In terms of girls should have girlfriends, but a lot of you guys, when you do get into actual relationships, just generally speaking, y'all don't want your girl to necessarily go to other people for any type of advice or anything, just based off, because if I go to my girl and she's single or in a different situation, she's going to give her advice on more so what she's been through.
Just a second. No, pause. Pause. He is being very specific, and I want to be very specific. You said advice. Advice is problem solving. That's not what I'm talking about. What he's more referring to is sometimes girls go to guys and they don't want advice. They don't want their problem solved. They just want to vent and just tell about their problems, and the man validates their problems. I'm saying from a male perspective, the more you do that, the less you are capable of solving problems. So advice is part of solving problems. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about venting. I'm talking about purely venting.
Okay, so what happens when y'all men have problems with us venting? Because I'm not going to lie, I've been in a relationship where I did seek other women to vent to about my problems, not in terms of just advice, just in terms of being able to speak about it. Yeah. Because men have a different outlook on the way I feel compared to the way they feel. And of course, it's like y'all want to put your feelings before other people, but there was still a problem with venting to other people, because now it becomes a problem when you've been in a relationship for a while. It's like, why are you even going to other people?
Okay.
And that's just, I guess you could say, in terms of guys I choose, but I've talked to a lot of men just in general, and they agree. Like, they don't want their women going, in terms of a traditional relationship, they don't want their women going to other people for any type of clarification, any type of just venting, none of that. Because men, being the superior person want the women to come to them to vent, to tell them about their problems, to tell them about everything. But kind of how the video was saying, what if we don't feel like y'all really understand us? Then it's like becomes an
But
issue.
I'm gonna be honest. That's why I personally don't think that a man should be just sitting there letting his woman vent all the time. Maybe once in a while, yes, cool. But I'm saying in general, if she's gonna vent to you a lot of different times, in your mind, instead of going to trying to solve the problem, trying to understand the problem, dissect it, and give her advice and lead her, which you're supposed to do in a relationship, but you just listening, you become more so her friend and less so her lover. And you lose the ability to be effective at problem solving. So I'm speaking from the perspective of men still maintaining that dominant, that respectful, that guidance in the relationship. I just don't want men to be sitting on the phone listening to a woman talk and just hearing blah blah blah. And no, you got bigger and better things to do.
It's not that. It's really becoming, because you said it's more becoming a friendship than the man in the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, my personal opinion is you do have to have a friendship in terms of you have to like the person to honestly love a person. Like, yeah, I can love you just based off you being you. Like, I love Ashley, but that doesn't mean every fucking day I like her ass.
This bitch fights with me all
And that's what I'm saying. It's like I might love her, but I don't obviously all
Love
the time
everything about me.
every day like her. It's the same thing in terms of a relationship, in terms of any relationship in general. You honestly have to like a person to
be
have
able to
that,
put up with,
to have that love unconditionally for a person. Because if I don't like you and I have love for you, I'm gonna make sure you're straight. I'm gonna make sure you good.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, that doesn't mean I'm going to make sure you're fed. That doesn't mean I'm going to make sure your mental is straight. That doesn't mean all that. But in terms of a friendship and before a relationship, you know the person a little bit more. You understand them. And in terms of that ranting, spilling the tea, getting shit off your chest, it's going to be easier. And that is what makes, instead of a relationship, a partnership. Because if I can come to you about anything and everything, this happened today, I feel more comfortable in my relationship being able to tell you exactly what's going on than in terms of going to somebody else about what's going on and then coming to you in a relationship aspect. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but what I'm ultimately saying, and we got to get back to the video, is
Of course.
I understand that you have to like the person, etc. I'm not arguing that. That's not my argument. My argument is if you do that a lot, you lose a lot of different things that will keep that relationship healthy long term. So maybe when it comes to different arguments of you being too comfortable, we just did a video about this. If a woman is too comfortable in a relationship, that's where the disrespect starts to come in. And I'm just saying, from a male perspective, you want to always keep the upper hand when it comes to respect level, when it comes to you solving her problems, versus you just listening to just listen. I'm just saying it from that perspective. All right. Other than that, and then you said something else that I have to touch on. A woman's love is not unconditional. It's always based on how you make her feel at that point in time. So I want that to be said.
Well, I wasn't saying that in a way. In terms of looking for unconditional love, just based on my past, that's what I normally look for. I'm not saying everybody I choose, which is majority of the people I choose are not unconditional loving people. But in terms of just me, I'm an unconditional loving person. If I show any interest in you, I, from get, have unconditional love for you. You could probably do me the dirtiest friends, relationship, any type of way, but I have, in terms of personality and soul, I have a loving personality and soul, and I want everybody that comes into my life to be an unconditional love based off just me. Okay. You can do the worst things to me and I'm gonna still love you for who you are. I might not like you, but unconditional love is a different type of thing. Just like I was saying before, in terms of men, it's like a man could be having love, like, damn, I don't want you to get hurt. I don't want this to happen to you, but I'm still, doing my thing. I'm still, you fuck up. I'm not gonna really fuck with you like that. That's unconditional love. It's kind of like from a mom. You get you could fuck up. You could do some stupid ass shit, and your mom's still gonna love you.
Yeah.
And you want to get deep. I didn't have that growing up. I didn't have that unconditional love. I could fuck up and my mom hates me. I can do something where my dad is disappointed. It's never unconditional with me in my life, of where I've met people that are more unconditional love. So growing up, it's always been I give out the unconditional love.
Gotcha, because you never had that when you
But
was
people that
growing
I
up.
meet is the conditional. I've been in a relationship where it's like, if you don't do this, you don't do this, you don't do this, I really don't love you.
Okay.
And that to me is
Hold on, real
unconditional
quick.
love.
Okay, and then I want to hear from you. You didn't say nothing in the past 20 minutes. Hello?
But
I said you haven't said nothing in the past 20 minutes. You got anything to say?
I did say some stuff.
What do
All right,
you
let's
have to
continue.
add on to this topic?
Yeah.
Anything? If not, we can move
Yeah,
on.
we can,
Yeah, let's move on.
It's also not just a man having an opinion. That's not the situation. The idea is when a man interjects an opinion that he either is not fully educated on or does not have the appropriate empathy to be able to talk about.
How is that different than a woman
qualifies
doing
that?
that?
Yeah, exactly.
That's my issue.
Then
is
feel
that-
free when a woman does that to say you're womansplaining. I don't think
but
that
that's- I don't
that-
wanna
that-
fix it.
That doesn't
There's a
fix
reason
it.
that term doesn't exist,
and that's
because you're not
childish.
allowed to do that towards women in
I
society.
promise you,
today.
if you did that, it would be
That's
just
that
fine.
was
You just
childish.
invented
It would be
That's
just
weird.
fine.
Well, I think the difference is though, when if that were to happen to men, it wouldn't quiet our voices to being completely unheard. My wife is a physics and math teacher. If she has the answer to a question in a staff meeting, she's going to have to be louder than the men in the room, because that is the way society has conditioned people to operate, especially in male-dominated spaces.
Yeah.
That's what mansplaining is. I have one more question. Is it about the word?
Yeah, that's what I feel.
Is
like
it about
we keep
the
on getting
words?
hung up
Yes.
on like words
No,
like
it is.
Y'all really
mansplaining
don't. Y'all have a lot
and
of problems with a lot of
patriarchy,
these
like,
languages.
When you say mansplaining,
Yeah.
you have to understand that subconsciously we're already creating a divide when really a woman can mansplain by definition the way you guys are explaining it, and that's just as wrong as if a man does it. So why is it called mansplaining? Why isn't it just disrespectful?
So when
yeah,
your life is
exactly.
not at stake, when you're not being attacked, I think you can focus on language. When you're not at risk of being...
You live in U.S., dude. That doesn't
Men are
happen.
attacked every single day.
Women are
Talking
attacked more.
about-
But
No,
I
they
think
not. That's
from a
actually
societal
false.
standpoint,
That's
you guys
false.
talk a lot about social conditioning and how women feel uncomfortable. But don't you think this narrative that you're saying right now is contributing to that? Telling women that they should be scared when they're in an environment full of men. Telling women that, you know, they are oppressed, they are this, they're that. By telling women they're less than
Let me
men.
respond to that. They're not telling them that. They're validating the fact that that's the reality.
Right.
Women should be encouraged to be financially independent of men.
All right, we can actually end it on this one because I actually want to touch on this and then get y'all thoughts on that question.
This comment right here,
This
women
question,
should
yeah.
be encouraged to be financially independent of men.
Yeah.
In terms of kind of how, just based off me, I'm not even gonna speak generally because everybody has their own opinion, but I do encourage other women to be financially independent of men because, like I said, I've been through that point in life where it's like I did financially depend on a man.
Yeah.
And it backfired. And it's not even just one man. It's like, I don't know, just people in my life in general. Dependently, financially depending on anybody is bad. Your mom, your dad, anybody growing up, just obviously after the age of 18, do your fucking own thing. And that's what I
got
feel
you.
like.
Okay. Ash?
I feel like women shouldn't be encouraged, but they can be.
Shouldn't be, you said?
I said not all of them are, but they can be.
Okay. For me personally, I think it's just contextual. I'm gonna be honest. If you are by yourself and single and you don't have a man, obviously, you need to be financially stable. You need to be a contributing factor in society. But if you are in a loving relationship and the dude is actually respectful, honorable, etc., and he's trying to build a family and you trying to build a family, and you both working is not obviously going to help the family, then you might have to take a back burner because you are the natural nurturer. Unless he wants to be the natural nurturer and that's how that works out for you. But typically it don't work out like that. Relationships like that don't last. So typically you will have to take a back burner on your career. But most women are willing to accept that. Anything else? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I do, actually, honestly. So you just mentioned us putting a back burner on our career and our dreams and shit like that. So again, we're in a day and age where it's like us women go to college, us women have
Of course.
dreams, us women have goals.
Yep.
And then we meet a man, and y'all honestly, like, and this is not even general, but it is general at the same time. Y'all do want us to put y'all dreams and goals before ours. In terms of being independent or dependent, whatever you want to call it, if we come into your life and you're making music, you want us to promote that music, you want us to be in the videos, you want us to do this, you want us to do that, right? Okay.
Of course.
So when it comes to you showing up to an event because we're graduating or we're doing, it's harder for y'all to get like y'all to come to our shit and support us compared to us supporting you.
Got you. And I agree. I agree with that. But hold on real quick. You got to stay on there for a second. Because I actually agree with you. But here's the counteract to that. When men typically get money, they typically think, okay, cool, I can provide more for my family. I can be a better man for my family, etc. They're not more likely to leave the relationship. When women get money, they are, I'm a self-made, I'm independent, and they're actually more likely to leave a relationship. This is statistics.
Okay, so you think a woman becoming more successful is more likely to leave a relationship than a man becoming more successful?
That's statistically true.
No, you're wrong about that.
It's not about wrong. We got Google. As soon as this video is done, you can look it up and then you can be corrected.
Okay.
But that's not the point.
Now my girl got something to say. She got to talk.
But why, when men, let's say, they're starting up, they meet a girl and they're both working towards shit, you know, he's like, yo, babe, like, I'm not at this point, but if you stick around me, I'm gonna work up to this and this and that. Yeah. They get to that point, man, fuck this bitch. I can find like 10 other bitches.
Finer.
Better.
Thicker. Bro, you're telling me.
No. Most dudes, maybe the minority, maybe you're talking about. Stop. You can't keep moving that because people hear that when you move it. Okay. All right. So most dudes, they stick with their woman. They may cheat. I'll give you that. Don't get that twisted. I'm not arguing that. I'm not arguing that. But to leave their woman, most dudes don't leave their woman. They may cheat, but they don't leave their woman.
Comfortability.
I don't know the reason why. There's multitudes of different reasons why, but that's not.
Well, if you're going to speak on the general aspect, you should be able to answer for the general aspect.
Why? Typically because they want variety. That's why. It's just simple.
No. Why don't they leave the women if they want variety? Answer me that. Comfortability. Am I wrong or am I right?
Guys want to have multitudes of women at the same time.
But they also want to be able to come home to a woman no matter what.
Duh. What are we arguing right now? This is just simple biology.
I mean, it's statistically speaking, you're right in terms of what'd you say?
I said biology.
Biology. Statistically speaking, yes, y'all men want to be able to do whatever the fuck y'all want to do, but still come home to a girl that's gonna hold you down. Am I wrong or am I right?
True.
Okay.
But a lot of men actually would prefer to have multitudes of women if they can handle them. Obviously,
that's what doing what the fuck you want to do and coming home to the same girl is about. But we're not on that no more. We're not in the traditional ways where you're out and you're coming home at 10, 12, 11, whatever you want to call it. I said that shit twice. You want to come home late as fuck, right? And we're supposed to accept that because that's traditional. And be real, like, back in old days, if you actually did your little history fucking class shit, men did what the fuck they wanted to do. They saw who they wanted to see and came home when they wanted to come home. But we're not on that no more. You come home when we know it's right. And in terms of, like, just being respectful. If I know you get off at 8, why the fuck are you getting off at 11?
No, I get that, and I'm not arguing that. But my thing is, since you brought it up, it's more so about leverage. Everything in life is about leverage. Back then, we just had more leverage because guess what? Y'all didn't work, y'all couldn't vote, etc. So we had more leverage to do things that we wanted to do. Nowadays, you can't do that because women are making the same amount of money. Women are working just as hard. If not more, you're right. If not more, women are working just as hard. Women are doing the exact same things. I get that. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying it comes down to leverage. Some dudes are millionaires. Guess what? They got more leverage now. So now they can tell the bitch, hey, I want you to be my stay-at-home girl, and I'm still going to do things on the side.
Well, now women also have more leverage. And that's
No, you don't. How do you have more leverage?
More than before.
No, you
like
don't.
Exactly
Way
like
more.
you said.
No.
Before, we weren't able to work. We weren't able to provide for ourselves.
No.
And now the fact that we're able to provide for ourselves, we're able to do stuff for ourselves, we're able to have more leverage on ourselves and what we consider, respect towards us as in a relationship.
I'm so glad you said that.
This is hold on, no.
You gotta stay on this. This is why podcasts like this is so important. What you just said makes me understand. You just don't understand men and women. You don't have leverage by making more money. More money does not make you sexier. More money does not get you more dudes.
Oh, but
hold on. Let me finish.
Sexier and it makes you be
Yes.
able to get more women. No,
Yes.
At the same time.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Hold on. Stay with her. What do you mean? Are you telling me that a dude that makes $100,000 a year is not going to get more women by making $1 million a year?
Okay, and
more status, more money will get you way more women.
And a woman
Hold
that's
on.
making $1 million isn't gonna get more than a guy than a
No.
woman.
Let me put the right word.
No.
Desired. Is a woman more desired making more money? Because I could put out Rihanna right now. How many men desire Rihanna? Because she would never look. A lot of our
But it's not
society,
based
the
off
way,
her money.
It is though. It's
not.
based off her success.
Oh
You're
my
telling
God.
me
No.
Rihanna would look at a regular degler?
No. You gotta stay on topic. Okay. When it comes to men and women, right?
Okay.
More money, more status does not make you more desirable to men. Now, for men, it makes you more desirable to women. This is how I can clearly see that you don't understand the fundamentals between men and women. So for you to say that you have more leverage now is incorrect. You actually have less leverage because you have more bodies. You are much more of a hoe. You got Instagram. You on Instagram showing your thotty ass pictures, etc. Those things make you more in the hoe category versus I want a relationship with her. For you to have leverage, it's a bad bitch. For you to have leverage, it's less bodies. For you to have leverage, you're quiet. You're not out in the streets. You're not doing all these different things. That's actual more leverage, not money or status.
But why are there some men now that think that when a woman doesn't, let's put it like this, there are some men now that find women more attractive when they don't find them attractive.
That's
Okay,
different.
can
That's
I
different.
put one
That's
more thing
completely
in?
different. Hold on, but that what you just said is completely different. That's not even what I'm talking about. That's a whole different topic. That's a whole nother different topic because men chase things that they can't have.
Can I ask you a question?
Right. That's what I'm trying to say.
I just have one question.
Go ahead.
Why is it that y'all? So you're telling me y'all would wife a hoe?
I never said that.
Oh, I said that. Y'all would wife a hoe, a girl, a shawty that has shit to her name. Not a car, not a crib, not shit, compared to a girl that got her shit together.
100. If that girl is more attractive, more feminine, and more loyal, 100%. I don't know how many times I got to explain the same exact thing.
Okay, so she has to be more attractive.
Yes. Okay. No. So hold on. Real quick. Pause. So I just want to give you two examples. One is a boss babe, but she's, I guess she has to be more masculine. She's a hoe or whatever the case may be, etc. Blah blah. But she's bad as fuck or all these other words that y'all want to use. But another one is probably even less attractive, but she's more loyal and she's more feminine. Guys are going to choose that every time. We don't care how much money you make. That's not going to make you more desirable. We don't care how your status level. That's not going to make you more desirable.
But some men nowadays like that 50-50 thing. Like, they like, if I'm going to spoil my woman, she should be able to spoil me back. And that's when that comes in. If a guy wants a woman that's able to spoil him as much, why would he go to a woman that...
Guys are not looking for women to spoil them. What are you talking about? And maybe in a...
I said 50-50. If a guy is spoiling a woman, there are some guys out there that are expecting a woman to be able to spoil him back.
True, but not financially speaking. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand.
Can you put the stop the cap button? Let me fucking tell you.
Yeah, and then we gotta wrap up because this video is long too.
All these videos are long. You wanted us to talk back. We're gonna talk back, anyways. So let me get this straight.
It's sassy.
I'm about to change your name to Miss Sassy on my phone. Go ahead.
So we can go to the store, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna say.
They
I'm
hear
sorry.
that when you move
I am sorry. I'm not gonna say I trick or niggas or men or tricks. But it's like if you invite me to the mall, not saying you expect me to buy me nothing, but I've had a couple guys take me to the mall, and I've asked for stuff, even though I could pay for myself, which majority of the time I do get it for myself because men, they don't want to be tricks. Y'all so worried about being tricks, but it's like, I've had a couple men ask me, oh, I'll get that for you, but what are you finna get for me? That right there is you want to have that same...
No, I think
it is. It's
okay,
the same
no,
level.
hold on, pause. It's not. I don't think if he said that, I'm gonna be honest. The nigga's lame as fuck. It's not what you gonna get from me. It's what you gonna do for me. That's what most dudes would say. If I'm gonna get you this, what are you gonna do for me? Not what you're gonna get from me. Like he's expecting a financial thing. No, like sexual favors. Head could be one for sex, etc.
I was getting there. Sexual favors is majority of what y'all want.
Yes. It's not what are you going to... No. What the... Dudes are not... Again, maybe some low-quality, lame-ass, bum-ass niggas may want that, may want a 50-50 relationship, but majority of dudes that actually care about their woman, they want to take care of their woman. They want to protect their woman. They want to provide for their woman. Not a 50-50 fucking partnership or relationship. That... No. I just
feel like there's some men out there that would want women to be able to take as much accountability as them.
Agree.
In certain situations.
In terms of every aspect of life, not just accountability for actions.
There should be, if...
What? What do you mean exactly when you say that?
What I mean by that is being able to take care of shit just as much as them. In terms of
some men
bills,
that are
children, housework, I feel it's 50-50 no matter what. That's my opinion. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Ash.
I was just going to say there are certain aspects where there are men out there who are like, dang, I wish my woman could do this and this. As in, like, maybe...
Physical.
Protect me if some woman tries to do something to me, or...
Again, you are talking about low-quality individuals. A man that's...
How do you know that's low quality, though?
Because
men...
It's low quality to them.
Men do not look for security in women. You look for security in men. We do not look for security in you. That's why your status and your money is irrelevant to us on a dating perspective.
But y'all look to us for comfortability.
Of course. What do you mean?
So security, but not comfortability.
No,
I mean security.
No
security, but comfortability. My bad. Switch that around.
Exactly. Maybe security in the relationship, but not security in a sense of physical security from someone else. No, we don't look for you for that. We don't look for you for your money. We don't look for your status. If you're a dude like that, I would consider them a low quality individual. I'm just being honest.
All right. Well, are we gonna wrap this up?
Huh? Yeah. All right. Now, what's your IGs and final thoughts?
My IG is ash.arl.
Mine's ittybitty_ace_. And if you want to hit us up, it's a pink gas station.
Oh my God. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe. If you want to follow them, the link to their Instagram will be in the description below. Join the Patreon army. Get Red Pill and Chill on Amazon. Other than that, I'm out. Peace. School. Woo!